Hello and welcome back to documenting your nostalgic school days. So in this video, this is video number 2, and we are talking lunchtime. So I know that in any kid's world, lunchtime is lunchtime. You know, it's time to eat, it's time to relax, you don't have to do your work. Typically, you get to talk with your friends. So, but I want to document about what we brought for lunch today. That's kind of what we brought for lunch during school. And most of the time I'm thinking of elementary. Somewhat junior high, somewhat high school. I think by then we were kind of like buying our lunches and things like that. So, but before I jump ahead into that, I did have a question about doing like a small flip through of my setup. And I kind of thought I did one at the beginning, but I could be wrong. And so I just wanted to kind of show you guys what I've done as far as getting mine ready to go for the for documenting this series. So I'm using a little golden book, and I still plan on coming in here and covering up the back and the front pages with paper. I just haven't done that yet, and I might just do it offline and then show you guys what I've did. I'm probably going to do like a little cluster here, probably like a library card or something like that, or I'll have the little library inserts that you put inside the books, and you can put your library card in there. So that's probably what my goal is here. I have a ton of die cuts that I need to use, so I plan on coming through here, and maybe I should do a video of at the very end, like maybe kind of show how I take all my die cuts and I kind of just add and decorate after I do my documentation. So these are just some ephemera pieces that I picked up. They were actually like for your school board at the Dollar Tree. This is some paper from Cartabella. Some more of that die cuts. This was our first little page that we did. Again, I keep the whole book in here for that was the original little golden book, because I think it's cute to have the story still inside the book. This is a page I just added because we're talking about lunchtime, and I wanted to have something that was kind of themed towards the lunch. This is again a little, I actually bought these off of Etsy, this little package, and we're gonna I'm gonna be actually using it today for our lunchtime, and I'll show you that in just a moment. But I added some 28-pound paper for storytelling. Some this is some paper that I've had for a while. Another one of those ephemera pieces that came in that pack. So again, right now I just kind of did like every other page, different pages that papers and intertwined with the original book that was in here. Some of these are little pieces of journaling cards that I just included in there as well. So yeah, so that's kind of the book in itself. And again, that's one of the things I like about having a ring. I can change it up, add different things in there. I'll probably end up adding some dictionary pages, maybe some book pages and things like that. But again, it's a work in progress, and that's the joy of these books, is you can add and take away as you need them. So let's go ahead and get started on our lunch time memory keeping documentation. Now I was going to do another kind of like additive page on here because I did find some old school pictures, but I think I might come back and do like a little bonus video, a real short one of how I'm still looking for one of my dad. I have one of my mom. I want to get one of my dad. In case you missed it, I am documenting my parents' stories as well. I asked them questions and they answered them. And so I'm going to be documenting their story as well within this book. So, but anyway, I'm thinking about coming and doing like a little bonus video here, kind of showing different things that I've picked up or thought about in the process that I would like to hop on and add, and also do a video series. So sorry, I was just kind of got sidetracked over here. So one of the things that I have on my blog is this printout. It is just a sketch of a lunchbox type thing. You don't have to use this. This is what I'm going to be using today, and I've offered it. You know what I also kind of tossed up in the air about using is a actual brown paper bag. I thought that would have been a really cute additive to your journal, because I know that a lot of times as we got older, we probably didn't carry the lunchbox anymore. And it's oddly enough, I really had to really think about what lunchbox I use. And I even asked my siblings what they had, and because I don't know why that just didn't stick out. But I remember now I had a Smurf one, and actually I went and did a print. I printed this offline. I just did a screenshot, and so I'm going to add that to my story as well. So anyways, but I know a lot of times everybody remembers what lunchbox they had, so this is an opportunity to either do a screenshot, print it out, add it to your journal, or you could draw something or anything that you want to do on this. But this is just kind of a template that I thought might be helpful. So, and the other thing that really sticks out in my mind for my documentation is the milk. The milk was a big deal. We bought milk on a daily basis, and I have a story that I want to tell, and I'll tell you guys really quick. While I'm talking about this, I will show you what our plan is today. So, but let me show you the plan, and then I'll tell you the milk story. So, this is the template cut out. I know I got black ink all over. I have no idea how. I got it everywhere. But this is the template, and then I just went ahead and cut out the letters here because I thought I could come in here and color these and add these here, because I really went back and forth on how I wanted to put my book document with this little template. I mean, really, it's taken me a couple of days to kind of think about what I wanted to do. And so when I first thought about it, I was like, oh yeah, I'll definitely do that. And then as I got into creating it in my mind and kind of before I even did the video, it really became, I didn't know if I made the right choice on doing this, but I do now. I think I'm going to do just fine on it. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I might add this to my front page. That's one of the reasons that I had the milk, is because really that is the memory that really sticks out. So I'm going to probably come and do like a little cluster here. And I am so happy that Tim Holtz has these little cow tops. These little milk tops that came onto the top of the milk. And I know that you can find these real authentic, ones that came on. I know there's lots on Etsy, but these are some that he reproduced, and I just love them, and I buy them all the time, and I include them in ephemera packs and all that because they're just fun, and I love using them in a lot of my projects. So, in fact, I got my little chocolate milk here that I'm going to be documenting with, and so that's kind of my thought process behind what we're going to do, what I'm going to do in my book. And I definitely hope you're inspired too. So I think I'm going to come in here and color these with marker. Just a really simple, I've got my Crayola markers here, and I'm just going to come in here and color these. And then with my little kind of makeshift lunchbox, this is kind of what my thought process was. I was going to make like a little lunchbox. I actually thought about putting my little lunchbox on the outside of it and then opening it up and gluing my lunch in here, like pictures or drawing pictures or doing like little doodles or going online and printing out some just random sandwiches and things like that. But I had another thought. So because I have some stories I want to tell. I have a story, and the more I thought about it, I was like, well, I want to kind of make a little booklet. So I went in. This is not a perfect booklet. As I've mentioned in other videos, in case you didn't watch them before this one, I really am wanting to do more of a childlike documentation, more of going back to your childhood or, creating. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just make it fun and cute, and, it may be kind of wonky, and just keep it that's the way I'm going to go forward with this project. So some of my pages aren't the best, but this is like a micro side. So I think this is, let me find I had it in my head before when I said, let me make sure I give my measurements. So this actual across is 5.5, and this is by 4. So this is a 5.5 across by 4, and then I actually just folded it in half. I put one staple in the middle. I thought about actually putting like ribbon right here, like putting hole punches in here. You could actually do the same thing like in here, which I almost thought about doing, which actually would probably be a good idea, is if I just stapled this. I might go back and do that, because I thought I could just glue it on here and that would work too. But I think I'm going to staple it. Actually, I think I'm going to go in and staple that. So let's go ahead and do that since we're on here. And let me see if I can get my staple puller out without causing any issues. Oh, my stapler's over there. Okay. So I'm just going to pull that staple out. Now, I have an actual stapler, but if you don't have one of these, I have talked about this before. Make sure it's right side up. That you can use a regular staple. And actually, I have one right here. I finally found mine after we moved 2 years ago. But you just open it up and you know what? How about if I show you guys on this one? I have never done this online. I've always talked about it. But I have my eraser here and I have everything that I need for this to happen. So I usually just get like an eraser. You can just get a regular pink eraser. Let me move this book out of the way here. I hope this works, because like I said, I've never done this on video before. So we're going to straighten that up. Make sure we're going to open our booklet up like that. Okay. We got our eraser because the staple's actually going to go into that. So I'm going to kind of just mark this where I need to staple. And I'm going to push that into it. I'm going to get my stapler and I'm going to line it up. I'm going to staple down. And it's actually going to go into the eraser. And I'm going to pull out the eraser. And then you can either use your end of your pencil, or your scissors, whatever, to fold it down. And there you have it. It's now your own little booklet. So I may do this again up here because, and it doesn't ruin your your eraser. I'm going to just do it again up here just because I didn't kind of get it centered as I wanted to. And I don't want that top part to get real loose. And I could do 3 times because to me, you know, that is one thing. I'm pretty wonky, but I kind of like to have, I do want some kind of like making sense to it all. Okay. Oh, going back. So I actually cut, I'm sorry, I kind of jumped ahead on here. I cut this as a template. Did I tell you? I don't think I told you guys, but basically I cut it as a template and then I traced it onto cardstock and then I used it. So I picked the color I wanted and then you don't have to, say for instance if you wanted to watercolor yours or you wanted to keep it white and glue whatever on top, you could do that. After I cut this blue, I wasn't too crazy about it, but this was the color of the Smurf Smurf lunchbox. So that's kind of why I chose this color. Okay, so now we have it as your little booklet. And this is the fun part, because now you have a whole nother canvas type that you can write on and paint on and color on. So you can just slip it right in there like that. That's what my goal is. I know not everybody has a French fry bag. You can use an envelope. You could use a clear bag. You could use, you know, I thought about using one of those because I really wanted it to be able to be seen, but I cannot find those ones from Target that are clear. Make another pocket. But I'm going to have like story time here and maybe like make an arrow or something that says to look in here. I'm going to probably have to clip something on here so it kind of doesn't fall in. But then again, I love using my little French fry bag. So now comes the decorating part. So I also cut, let's see, my milk carton. I also cut the milk carton out on a cream color die cut. And that's where I got this chocolate milk from, and I don't, like I said, this blue is just driving me crazy because it's not really a color that I would originally have picked. So, but I got it because of that, which actually, the more I think about it, I think I'm just going to put it on there because the blue is just not working for me, and I think having this like I had originally thought would work is going to make me feel better to where I can function with it. So I'm just going to put that on here. You can, like I said, you could even, I thought about just even cutting out lunch and putting the lunch on there. I thought that would be cute too, but that's okay. Oops, got glue on here. So now I'm going to come over here and just kind of do like an outline on here, just because I feel like I just need to do something. It's not really turning out like I had planned, but your story is what we're doing, right? That's kind of the goal. It's not crazy about this blue color. Gosh, poor blue. I'm just picking on it, aren't I? This marker. Okay. Maybe little polka dots will help me to get through it. Okay. So we have that. Okay. So now we're going to document, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be telling my parents' story. So, I may have to start over. You guys, anybody else suffer from this? Because I don't like some of the color schemes that I have chosen. It's just not working for me here. This blue is just, but I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to say, yes, it's fine. Sorry, I don't mean to just keep going on and on about it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to write in here, we're going to document. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of do a little intro here. And I'm going to do this offline because I know that I don't want to do all the time of writing on here. So I think what I'm going to do is use this little cute apple stamp, and I'll probably do like a little intro here, and then I'm gonna do, I wonder if this little archival ink will pop through there. Let's try that. Actually, let's use a different piece of paper and see if it bleeds through here. Do a little test. Oh no, that's not bad. Isn't that apple cute? So cute. Okay. So, I'm going to do a little intro. And then I'm going to just kind of do an apple here. I'm going to do maybe a little story in here. Do an apple here. These apples represent actual lunches. I'm going to do that. So that keeps it white. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just put on here let's see if this marks as black. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to put my lunch. And the thing is that I know I took different things throughout the day, throughout the week, but I'm going to just kind of say my general lunch. Maybe go into some descriptions. And then I'm going to put mom's lunch. You know how I talked about other, like putting, when I did the supplies, I actually put my mom's name. I think I thought about it after the video, and I think what I'm going to do is at the beginning I'm going to kind of explain that if it says mom, who it is, just kind of do an introduction of the book, like an introduction in the book about who's who. Y'all aren't going to believe what my dad had for lunch. He had smashed up Vienna sausages sandwich. I don't like Vienna sausage. It's funny though, my daughter loved them as a little girl. Because my husband would give them to her. And he... now I don't think she likes them, but I just thought that was so funny. Okay. Then I kind of got sidetracked with my blue lunchbox. But I remember I was talking about I had a milk story. And so I think... how does this milk look? Maybe I should just go with this one because I'm not liking that cream either. But then I don't like the white, the plain white. So the milk story is this. So my sister, I don't remember how old we were. We were older. I can't remember, not too much older, but we were older. And she, my mom always gave us 25 cents. So milk was 20 cents and we got 25 cents. I don't know what I did with my money, but she saved her money up one year and 5 cents over, and there was like this little kind of like, I guess you would call it was like a 5 and dime, but not really. It was a little Asian store that had a lot of different things in there next to our grocery store. And so she had saved up all her 5 cents, and I don't even remember how much she had, but she saved up enough money to buy all of our family members, except my brother, which I'll tell you what we got him. But everybody, I mean, and it could have been like a pen, it could have been, I mean, it was just little trinket type deal things. And but we got everybody in our family something. My brother, poor thing, we ended up not quite having enough money, so he got a 11 cents in a sock. But I want to include that in here. So my lunch. Oh, here we go. You know, we could actually put this in here on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and staple that on here. Oops, almost. There we go. May not quite go on here. But that's one of the stories I want to tell in here. So Dad's lunch. Oops, sorry. So maybe I'll put it right here. Milk story, that's what it is. Okay. What's interesting, I wanted to include the cost of milk, which I'm going to include it in my parents' story because they paid 2 cents for their milk, and I was asking my daughter what she pays. But everything now is like they have such free lunches and everything. I don't know. So like their school district has they do free lunches, so they don't have to pay for their milk. So I couldn't really do a comparison. My hands are filthy, you guys, from something. I'm thinking it was this black marker with the intro page because I got black marker all over me. I got it on my milk jug too. Okay, so that's going to fill up my little booklet here. So we're going to add little stories, and I think I'm going to come in here and do little ephemera. So I'm going to go offline here, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to write my stories, and then and I'm going to color my words. So we're going to come back and we will get all that set up. Hey guys, so I basically have come in here and just started adding color to the pages. I'm using all Crayola markers and this glitter paper. I just wanted to come in and I started playing around with the blue cover, and anything goes with sparkles, right? So I'm going to come in here also and add just a touch of white paint. I think that might be, it needs some brightening up. So I think I'm going to come in here and paint over the picture itself a little bit. And then I wanted to show you real quick. So I just basically lined each of these pages with marker. And I'm going to just come in here and doodle my pictures. So, and these are just doodles, seriously. So they, you can just kind of do a sandwich. And I think what I'm going to do is list the type of sandwiches that we had. And so I think that's what I'm going to kind of do for each one. And then we always had and this is a real light pencil that I like to use because I'm going to go over it with either pen or with marker. And I'm going to put a little Debbie snack, and then I'm going to list right here the different snack cakes that I remember having the most. And then I think we did like a bag of chips, one of those. I mean, it just seems so unhealthy. But hey, that's what we did. So I think I'm just going to kind of come in here and do a real generic chip bag. So that's kind of what I'm envisioning. And then like with my mom's lunch, what did she say? She had a sandwich and 3 cookies. Same thing. So I'll do, and it was a jelly sandwich. So I'll probably do something really big here, and then 3 cookies. And then my dad the same thing. Let's see here. Let me make sure I got this right. Oh, and milk. Okay, see, this was my notes that I took down from when I was asking my parents questions. So I just want to make sure I have that. And then I'll probably sketch out a milk. I don't know if they had the little milks or not. Oops, that's looking like a house. Or you know, you could put a glass of milk too. It would be fine. Mine's looking like a house. Let me get out my little sketching here. And this is where I'm going to talk about too. Just kind of put milk, cost. Can y'all see that? I don't know. It may be kind of so light you can't even see it, but this was how we did ours. But anyway, I'm going to come over through here and just fill this out. And this, I basically, it looks so much better since I outlined it a little bit more in brown marker, and then I started polka dots. I'm going to do that, and then I just put a milk story, and I'll write my story here. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys exactly what I'm going to be doing, and then I'm going to come in here with marker and color these in, or with color pencil. We'll get it figured out make it show up, to make it pop out. Okay, let's wrap this page up. So I went ahead and found, I was so happy I found these little pockets, the clear pockets that they have at Target, usually in the dollar spot, and I knew I had a package of them somewhere, so I did find those, and I decided against the little French fry bag because it just wasn't flowing for me. It just wasn't working. And so this fits perfectly in here, this little booklet. And I think what I might do is like make a little sign here eventually, but for now I'm just gonna leave. This was a bag that I had in my little magical backpack, but I think I'm just gonna leave it as is for now, and then I may come back, like I said, whenever we're wrapping this up, and come through and kind of like tweak things and add things and do the kind of, you know, finish it up. But I wanted to show you, I did come in and add a little bit of white. What a difference that makes. Brightens it up a little bit. And then this is the little book, how it ended up looking. And I just basically kind of put some ephemera pieces in there. Talked about my little story here about lunch. Talked about the little sandwiches that I used to bring for peanut butter forever. And then I talked about, you know, once we got into high school and junior high and those kind of things, my mom's lunch, dad's lunch, and then this is another piece of ephemera, and then I talk about that milk story that I had discussed earlier. So that's a wrap of it. That's the little lunchtime story, and we're just going to stick our little book in the sleeve. And I thought about even putting it in here, but this just works perfectly right here. So let's go ahead and just kind of add, put this little, I just pulled a few, this is a little, I bought this from a teacher store a while back. This is a die cut from, I believe, the Anna Green Gables kit. And then these are just some ephemera pieces that I pulled out that I wanted to go ahead and add, if I can, to the page. So let's go ahead and see what we got here. So I think I really wanted to add some paint, but I think at this point I'm just gonna just glue the paper in and call it a good page, because I really was like trying to figure out with that background if I should add some paint to it. But I think with the yellow, having that yellow paper doily underneath here really ties in the yellow there on that bag. So it really did end up working out. But that French fry bag, it just didn't flow very well for me after I started playing around with it. And you couldn't see, and I was like, well, maybe I should put a little pull sign, but it all worked out with not using it. And I was so happy. I was like, I know where those things are. So again, I painted, I colored these with marker, and I'm just going to kind of do like a little cluster here of the pieces. Let me go ahead and add, got some ribbon to go over here with these buttons. These are buttons. These are like October afternoon buttons. Anybody hoard their items? I absolutely love their little ephemera packs, and so I haven't hardly used any of the buttons in them, but every once in a while I run across them and I'm like, oh, so this will work perfectly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run the twine up through here. I'm not going to actually sew the buttons onto the page. Ooh. I'm just going to tie a little knot just to add a fun little fibers to the embellishment here. Just going to tie a double knot, and then have a little bit hanging out like that. And do the same one for this button. Buttons are fun to add anyway. They have so many different styles and they're just cute. I love buttons. Okay. Pull that one through. Do the same, double knot it. Trim it off. Okay. Now we got those. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of create like a little banner. I had a blue. Oh, here we go. Oops, sorry about that. I was going to create like a little flag type area. Just kind of doing a little cluster of embellishments here. And then I really wanted to get my apple in there. Let's go ahead and get these down like this. Let's see how we can, so we don't not make room for everything. Kind of maybe move this up here. I have my little Smarty Pants girl too. Maybe I'll use her. I'm going to tuck this underneath those flags a little bit. Oops. Put those two. Glue's running out here. You know what, I actually would have loved to, oops, if I would have moved this over just a tad. May not be able to, I wanted to show that stem, but that may not be feasible. So we're just going to keep that stem hidden. Okay. I was showing my daughter the little book and she's like, Mom, it was supposed to just be like pictures of what you ate. You made a whole book out of it. She always gets so, because I never sometimes go with what I have planned. Anybody else do that? Once you get into it, you're like, oh, I would like to do this. Okay, so I'm going to use this 3-in-1 glue I have here to glue down the buttons. Maybe I should add my girl first and then well, these were my trial stickers here, and I don't think my, there we go. Always run a trial before I actually have them printed. Let's see here. I'm just going to stick her little legs down. Let's see. Ooh, oh my goodness. Put it on the wrong side. There we go. comes out quickly. How does that look? This thing, I'm gonna have to let it sit there. That knot, I'll put a little bit more glue around the outer part of the button. That way it really gets that grasp. There we go. I'm okay with her little face covering that story up. Move them down a little bit. Alright. How do we look? Move all the things out of the way. I think I like it. I think it looks cute. Alright, we got stories down. We have our lunchtime stories. You know what I could do, I'm looking at it, is come in here and like use some of these colors here and stripe that out. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. But for now, this looks good. Maybe do some trim up here too. I'm happy with it. I have my stories. Okay, you guys, I hope you're inspired. I can't wait to see what you guys do, and we're looking forward to it. Have fun creating.